Today, we're going to start talking about faith from a biblical perspective, and that means that we need to take a look at this word that the Bible calls sin. Now, maybe this is a new concept to you, so let me define it. Sin, in simple terms, is just trusting and acting on your own opinions and feelings instead of trusting and acting on God's truth. So it obviously assumes that there is such a thing as truth and that God owns the truth. And every time you go against what God wants for you and you go your own way, well, you're sinning. Now, in James chapter 4:17, it says it like this. Remember, it is sin to know what you ought to do and then not to do it. So we all sin. But the Bible goes further. The Bible actually teaches that every human being is infected at the core with a sinful nature. In other words, it's not just something that we do occasionally. In fact, it says it like this in Romans 3, no one is righteous, not even one. No one is truly wise. No one seeks God. All have turned away and all have become useless. No one does good, not even one person. Later in the chapter, it says, for all have sinned and fall short of God's glorious standard. Now, the concept here makes us think of a bullseye. That God has this bullseye in mind. He wants us to hit the center. He wants us to hit the mark, but we can't do it. We always are missing the mark. So sin creates brokenness in our own lives, in our culture at large, even in the world. Everything that's broken about the world is because of sin. In fact, in Romans 6:23, it says the wages of sin is death. Now, this doesn't just mean physical death or spiritual death, but death in every way, brokenness in every way. And so we're surrounded by sin. I want to finish this video just by giving you a list of sin from Galatians chapter 5. Paul says this: sexual immorality, impurity, lustful pleasures, idolatry, sorcery, those are bad enough. And then he says, and also hostility, quarreling, jealousy, anger. So look, every single one of us can identify things on this list that we struggle with. And that's because every one of us has this basic sin problem. Now, if you want to pursue God, you have to wrestle with this concept.